all eyes are on Capitol Hill as lawmakers, including Wyoming Senator Cynthia Lummis, expect that we could have a market structure bill become law here in the U.S. by the end of the year. How would that affect crypto prices?
I think it'll further support them. I think everything that moves us towards regulatory clarity is going to be really supportive of.
And can I ask you, is that because suddenly you have this influx of money from TradFi because they're finally going to feel comfortable with lawmakers giving them hard and fast rules on the space? Or is it just existing buyers being more bullish, really piling into the trade? I'm just trying to parse what exactly changes.
So great question. And I think it's going to be one and then the other. So we're already seeing a greater institutionalization of digital assets. For example, the average transaction price for Bitcoin across most major exchanges is north of 100,000 USD. So that to me says these aren't retail investors making small trades, but it's still not, investors like us and our peers making, trades in the millions of dollars. So the centralization of key digital asset markets and key crypto markets is really important to drive further adoption. Interestingly, it may also suppress volatility within the space, which will create the snowball effect of even more institutions coming in. I think one thing that was really telling is there was a story about potentially Vanguard, which was really not at the vanguard of pushing towards digital asset adoption, now saying, okay, we're not going to launch our own ETF products, but we're going to let some third parties onto the platform. I think what we're seeing with all this regulatory clarity is financial intermediaries starting to look at the space and, quite frankly, not patronizing their clients anymore and saying, okay, we're going to actually let you participate in this. Then they come to folks like us and say, okay, how do we create models that integrate digital assets and traditional assets? And then, institutional players are starting to have conversations with us on saying, we're actually want to get a bit deeper. We want to look beyond just passive exposure. What can you do on the active front? How can we think about, these projects beyond crypto, but really in DeFi, in, apps and smart contract platforms? And all of that is only possible if all of the players know how they can be taxed on these assets, how they can trade and clear them. And so that's why the market structure regulation is so important.
Last question for you, real quick.